Ever since Hillary Clinton became the first woman nominated for the presidency in 2016, and a host of women were elected to Congress in 2018, there's been more focus than ever on the role of women in politics as both voters and candidates. And as the Democratic Party considers multiple female candidates for their presidential nomination in 2020, you might be surprised by some of the facts surrounding this notable trend. I'm Tim Donner with 5 facts about women at the ballot box. Fact 1. While depicted as a minority, women are actually a majority of the U.S. population. Yes, it's a small majority, 50.8%, compared to 49.2% men, and they're also a majority of the nation's workforce. But this female majority means there's almost 5 million more women than men in this country, giving them more power, at least theoretically, at the ballot box, especially when we consider Fact 2. Women vote at a higher rate than men. The 2018 election was the same as the last 5 midterm elections dating back to 1998, with 55% of eligible women voters turning out compared to less than 52% of men, according to a Pew Research Center analysis. Thus, viewed as a bloc, women have bigger numbers and a higher level of voting, which leads us to Fact 3. Women outperformed men in the most recent national election. 77% more women ran for Congress in 2018 than 2016, and a record 117 women were elected in the most recent midterms compared to 89 2 years earlier. Women represented just under a quarter, or 25%, of candidates on primary ballots across the nation, and just below 1/3, or 33%, of candidates in the general election. But women candidates for the national and statewide positions also won primary elections at higher rates than men in both major parties, and about the same rate in general elections. Fact 4. The surge in women legislators has been primarily among Democrats. The number of Democratic women who ran for the U.S. House doubled from 2016 to 2018, while the number of female GOP House candidates increased by about 25%. More than 80% of women in the House are Democrats, including the 2-time Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, more women of color than ever, and its first Muslim and Native American women. And there's a distinct gender gap in voting, with women voting for Democrats anywhere from 4 to 11% more than the Republicans over the last 5 presidential elections. And that brings us to Fact 5. It's now been 100 years exactly since women were granted the right to vote. The first time a woman actually was elected to Congress was in 1916. And then the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which extended the franchise to women across the nation, was ratified 4 years later in 1920. Overall, 325 women have served in Congress over the last century, but almost half of them, 48%, were elected in the last 20 years. There's no denying that women have become an ever more influential force in politics, particularly in this 21st century, to the point where it's no longer unusual to see women running for governor, Congress, or president. In fact, 9 women serve as governors. More than 20% of the Democrats who entered the presidential race in 2020 are women, and given current trends, we can reasonably expect that number to only rise in the years ahead.
Hi folks, Lisa K. Donner here, Editor-in-Chief of Liberty Nation Gen Z. We hope you enjoyed watching this video and maybe even learned a thing or two. If so, please subscribe to the LN Gen Z YouTube channel right down there in the corner. Thanks so much.